should not be uncontested everywhere in the world. A referendum should be yes or no, and that is a contest already. So to say that this has been uncontested, I think is neither here nor there. About the question about Ruto's U-turn, I want actually to thank him for doing that. I want to thank him because he has actually experimented. It's more of an experiment he's doing. I now agree that Ruto is a scientist. He's actually experimenting to test if this constitution making or the change we are doing now is actually something which we need to do, or is just something which is being done in having some people in mind. And there's nowhere if you read even the making of the U.S. Constitution with people like Franklin, who were like 81 and so on, there's nowhere they were making a constitution in having people in mind. They were having having individuals. Let me say, having individuals in mind. They were making a constitution having the country and the people in mind and how it can enhance people's liberties and democracy. Now, what I'm saying is that this constitution, the BBI thing, is being made with people in mind. The people who are to be excluded from accessing any offices after 2022, and the people who should or will be made leaders. And that's the problem I have with this constitution. So Ruto has turned back and is joining them, and they're not coming back. So that is the problem. I do not support William Ruto, and I've gone on record many times about this. My phone is 20%. I will finish what I'm saying. I've not been supporting William Ruto, and I've been going on record about that. So now that he has, let me just connect it.
Yeah, connect it so that it doesn't embarrass. Lives consume a lot of power.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. And if you are
just a second,
not very busy, please help share the video. So that you can also tag any politician you know around, so that you can tell us why it must pass or why it must be fought. Because Raila Odinga was saying, I don't trust Ruto. And Ruto has run away from the hustlers. Now he's joining the dynasties. So it's a lot of things that are going on. Ondieki has disappeared, Jonah. So as I wait for him, let me hope I can get Enoch Omariba. Why did you send your request, bro? Send your request and you can say a word as we wait for Jonah to actually connect his phone. I don't know. You are not able to connect, but send a request if you want to join, so that we get Brother John Ondieki to come and, continue where he left before.
Thanks, Fred. I'm back. So let me say these things. So what the reality which is coming out is that the constitution they are trying to change is to fit to people, and I'm going to say about what I believe after reading it.
Yes.
Now, before I go there, let me say that the guy who just left, I don't know his name. I think Frank. I've seen him around, but somebody Frank, eh?
Frank Code.
Frank Code
for Reform and Democracy.
Yes, okay. I respect Frank, and I want to say that, my brother, I respect you. But let me say this: you are the embodiment. You are an embodiment of what is going to befall Kenyans. You are an embodiment of the whole culture of not reading and euphoria. And for the first time, Kenyans are going to pay a heavy price for euphoria and for not reading. And that's what I'm seeing. I saw the signing of the BBI, the signature collection documents in Kisii yesterday. People are just signing. So I just say that even if I'm the last man standing, I'm not going to sign it and more vote for it. It looks like it's highly likely it will pass. But I can tell you, people like Frank who don't read and say, I've not read the constitution, but the BBI document, I'm going to just support it.
He's supporting it.
He's a representation. Yeah, exactly. He's a representation of the problem we have in Kenya.
Yes.
So it is important that we read this document. Fred, the 2010 constitution was not like a perfect document, but it has been lauded as one of the best documents. Leading helping countries govern. It's a good constitution, and we have not even implemented it fully. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are areas which are good in this document, which is being proposed, but I can tell you, Fred, this is akin to going to a party, and when the party a cake is presented, and the cake is actually made of poop but the icing is so sweet. So immediately when you start tasting the icing, or what they call the pudding, they say the proof of the eating is in the pudding. So the pudding is good, but when you start, digging deeper, you find that it's just poop inside.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The thing is, I've used this analogy before again. It's like when you want to plant maize or corn in a field, and you plant with these 3 seedlings. So you might actually harvest a few times, the corn and all the maize and whatever beans. But after like 2-3 years, the trees will go up and the canopy and the shade will kill everything under there. What do I mean? This issue of introducing new or expanding the executive, you can use that. Expanding the executive, basically meaning that we have the president, the deputy president, the prime minister, 2 deputy prime ministers, in the pursuit of what we call inclusion. What I say inclusion, at the end of the day, is going to eat all the other gains they're mentioning there. For example, they're saying they're going to increase the percentage they're increasing I think the evolution percentage to 35% of the national GDP, our national budget. Now, you are expanding the executive, which is going to eat more money. You have the president, he needs like this kind of security. We have a deputy president who needs security and all this motorcade. We have a prime minister who needs security and also motorcade. Deputy prime ministers, all those. That is an expenditure already. Are you trying to tell that you are devolving the funds, or you are actually basically expanding the executive and making it more centralized? So that's the problem. The governors are supposed to go home after 10 years. They want to get another lifeline. Some of them have just have raped their counties. They want to still continue remaining in power.
And they are talking about this third tier government where they'll be like they'll be a
but
government
I don't think that's going to happen in the document. I've not seen that. Let me say this, Fred. The thing is, I'm a Kenyan and I love my country, and I would like to serve my country. Genuinely, I want to serve my country, and I've supported Raila Odinga all the time, and I would support him in lieu of William Ruto, because I don't believe William Ruto has the qualities. But let me tell you this: as a free thinker, we need to understand that even if I don't support this person, he may say a true word. Chinua Achebe says this: a madman may sometimes say a true word. Even if you watch him, he may say other things that make him actually prove that his head is still insane.
Yes.
So William Ruto is actually saying a true word. This constitution has this amendment that they're trying to introduce have serious problems. In fact, the one with the Kuro was even better. So this is something Kenyans are going to suffer for 2 reasons: not reading and the euphoria. Now, there's something they said there. For example, the IEBC. Having IEBC commissioners be picked by political parties. The last time I checked, we have 36 political parties, registered parties. When I say something which I know is a fact and I've researched it. The last time I checked, there were 36 registered political parties. That's even after forming Jubilee, which followed 11 parties, and of course we have ODM. Now, assuming that Jubilee will stand and ODM will stand and other parties will be there. Now, these parties, in the eyes of the Political Parties Act, are the same, are equal. Now, if each party were to present a commissioner, then we are going to have 36 commissioners. Yes. If they were to do that. But as you know, the Constitution does not allow more than, I think, 9 commissioners. Usually, they have to be an odd number. So we might have like 5 or 7 commissioners. Now, of these commissioners, 4 of them are from political parties. Now, what if some commissioners say, oh, my party won the election. Another one said, my party won the election. Everybody says, my party won the election. My country won the election. We are baking chaos in this country. The commissioners we have now, in fact, they might be even more independent, even like Nachilovas, maybe more independent than what we are trying to introduce. So that is a problem we have. And we are not making a constitution just for 2022 only. We cannot be, it is expensive to amend a constitution. So it means if we make a constitution for only 2022, then we begin amending it again in 2023 and so on. It is expensive. Okay? So those are the things. There's one thing
there's
also.
also an issue I want to talk about. And Kennedy Kemboy, I want you to tell us why your team is jumping around, making a 360 turn. There is a power to the president. What have you read about presidential
Okay.
power.
Uh, the thing is, this presidential powers are going, of course, to be still strong. There's nothing which is going to change. In any case, I believe is going to be more powerful. Not that in books, but in influence. In books, it may look like he has been neutralized, but imagine a president, number one, who is going to somehow determine who is going to be the prime minister. The thing is this: they say the prime minister will come from the political party which has the majority in parliament. There is a high likelihood that the president's party will have the majority in parliament.
Yes.
You cannot become president if you don't have the majority in parliament. Now, which means the prime minister is most likely going to come from the president's party. And he may actually even in his own lineup say, oh, who's going to be the prime minister, so and so. So this is something which is not going actually to take away the winner takes all. It's going to be actually enhance it. Another aspect is the judiciary. The president already has some representation in the Judicial Service Commission. We already have the attorney general. There's also another one which the president appoints. For example, the seat which Mugenda now sits in the Judicial Service Commission is the president who appointed them. Now he's going to have now the judicial ombudsman, and the ombudsman is going to be somebody maybe the president may propose. Now, if the ombudsman ends up in judiciary, then it means the chief justice and the other justices and judges will have nothing to say.
Yes.
Okay. One thing which I think they've reversed, which was also going to mess the country, is that of the National Police Commission, Police Council, headed by the Minister for Interior. So that I think they said that the new BBI has abolished that. The thing is that some of these things, they are changing so many things that we even don't understand what is the status of the BBI right now. Because the last time I checked, this council was going to be led by the Minister for Interior, who can actually determine who is to be arrested. Now you are arrested because the minister has decided that you'll be arrested, and the judiciary has a hand of the president, or the tentacles are there. They can even decide whose judge is going to handle your case. So the thing is, this is not a progressive move. It is actually a retrogressive move, in my opinion. Now, another thing which I think Kenyans should look at, mostly, what makes me actually say that this is not something which we should actually throw away. This issue of seat. You see, Raila Odinga, whom we like, and I have spoken many times, he has something he wants in this. And Uhuru has something he wants in this. Let me debunk one thing. Uhuru does not want to be the prime minister. For sure, he doesn't want to be the prime minister. But, Fred, let's look at the history. And I'm sorry to say this, from the tribal point of view. I know some Kikuyu friends are watching, Luo, whatever. I am from a minority community, if I may say. The thing is, the country has been ruled by either a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin for the last almost 60 years.
Yes.
Mostly 3 Kikuyus have been president. If with this constitution we have, if the Kikuyu coalition or whoever from the central Kenya, they present a presidential candidate, chances are people will not like that idea. It won't sell.
Yes.
Even William Ruto's idea to become president may not sell as much, even if he was actually trying to change. He's a very smart guy. He knew that it wouldn't sell, and now he was introducing the hustler versus the dynasty narrative, so that people can forget about that we have had a Kalenjin president. Yeah, and now look at it as that. And he was a smart guy, and the God has blessed people differently. Now the thing is, Kenyans were not likely to warm up towards a presidential candidate who is either Kikuyu or Kalenjin, because we didn't need other people to become something. Now the thing is, Raila Odinga knows that if he is able to convince Uhuru Kenyatta that he can become president, and somehow maybe in the five seats, a Kalenjin, a Kikuyu will be there, then the Kikuyu's interest will be taken care of. Because let's face it, the Kikuyus also they run the economy, and they are in every facet of the economy. But there's a general feeling that there's nothing for us without us. So Uhuru Kenyatta is basically playing politics. He just wants to leave the country or his community at least in government, because under the current circumstances, he won't be in government. They won't be in government, at least maybe as ministers. Now Raila wants to be president. So you can see this thing is being made with some people in mind. That's why when Ruto is coming in, they're rejecting him when he's trying to support them. Now they say they don't trust him, so they're trying actually to banish him out of government. Such a kind of selfish activities should be called out and be rejected ab initio. Kenyans should just say no to this. Let's get somebody, even if Israel becomes president, that's fine. Or even someone from Luya land, whoever becomes president is fine with the current constitution. What they're trying to introduce here is going to be costly to all Kenyans just to appease a few people. And that's why I really sympathize with people who just say, oh, I'm supporting this constitution amendment because the BBI has the youth commission. Youth commission what? We have this national youth service. We have whatever, the youth fund. All these things can take care of the youth interest. They're saying they're going to give youth the tax break of 7 years. That is something which can be done by a presidential decree or a presidential, we call it what? This whatever, executive order. They can do that.
It doesn't need a constitutional amendment.
It does not need constitutional change. All this they're saying, even the money they're giving to the constituencies, this is something which actually can be done because the current constitution says the minimum is 15%. So they can go even up to 50% if they wanted to. It doesn't have to be anchored in the constitution. So this is the kind of stupidity I want to tell Kenyans. You should see beyond what beyond what these people are saying. PPI what? Unless it's just an egg, PPI. This is BBI should be rejected. And I hope, every opportunity I get, I tell people this. Let them collect the signatures. The thing is yes or no. I hope Kenyans can vote in numbers and say no. But I'm a bit pessimistic because it looks like the way these guys have teamed up, they may end up actually changing this constitution. We are having a bureaucracy. Imagine we are going to have a president, a deputy president, a prime minister. These are bureaucracies. We are making even the government service be very complicated.
Yeah.
Who is to handle what? Yeah? We should have a lean government. A government should be lean and have people's interests down there. And we have more resources devolved. It doesn't have to be anchored in the constitution because the constitution says at least 15%. They can go up to 50% if they want it. So to me, having read this, I say there are several things in that BBI which are good, but they're meant to hoodwink Kenyans to like it. But ultimately, this document is not a good document. Yeah? And I urge people like Frank was left, please take your time, my friend, read it. Just go through it. It's not that difficult.
Them that are supporting just because Baba said. And I want to ask Kennedy Kemboi to tell us why William Ruto made
let me give him a chance. Let me say one thing. He may just come in.
Yeah.
Kemboi the other day wrote on his Facebook wall that any Kalenjin who speaks fluent English is a conman. I think he said something to that effect. William Ruto speaks fluent English, so it should be categorized as such. And he's changing. I think he made a very big mistake to join them. Although the positive externality of that is that now we know the proponents of the BBI, the handshake thing, which was a good thing. The proponents of BBI, their intention is to exclude him and to make a government that actually appeases a few people and a few communities, not for the interest of Kenyans in the long run. Most of us are young people. We have a future together with Kemboi and others. Some of these people who are septuagenarians and the octogenarians, they are going home. They have no future. If we plant today a banana tree or even a mango tree, they may not even actually eat that mango.
Yes.
So we want people who, if we plant a mango tree in the name of a change of constitution, who can eat the fruits 15 years, 40 years to come.
Yes.
This thing should fall. This BBI should fall. And don't vote it because Raila said it or Ruto. I don't support BBI and I do not support William Ruto. That's what I want to say. Wacha Kemboi akuja ongee.